Hi folks, welcome to IMB Magazine. My name is Clive from MTB Skills and you're joining us for the Skills and Technique feature. Each issue we're going to be looking at different techniques and the core skills to riding mountain bikes. So sit back and relax and enjoy. So we've come to our next feature and already I'm seeing a million different line choices and ways that we can approach this. We're in a descent, we're going that way down this crag, so we're going to be using drop-in techniques, rolling press drop, punch drop. We'll be pulling manual shapes. Inevitably, there's probably a bit of unweighting of the back wheel, whether that's done for us by bonking off of shapes or whether we're putting a little bit of that in. The usual thing, you come to something on the trail and you just want to blast through it as quick as you possibly can, but we're going to slow this one right down and pick a few different variations. We'll take this left line to kick us off, which is a series of small press drops to get down that. We'll ride something quite central and there's a reasonable step off the end, so we're going to use a punch drop over there. We'll come hard right with a really tidy line in there, and again we're going to have to punch off that drop in the bottom, and then we'll mix it up and we'll pick a bit of a variation, being very specific with where we try to put our wheels within this and really make a bit of a meal out of it and make a long way around it to get down it, bringing in lots of different things there, unweighting, power wheelie maybe, certainly little manual shapes, little rear wheel lifty type shapes, obviously working the brakes under the speed control stuff and just creeping down it. So yeah, we'll session this for a minute and then we'll have a look and see how we get on with it. Excellent, so a few variations. There's no right or wrong line, remember, from our previous features. There's sometimes a preferred line, that's how does it feel? What's the outcome, what's the time on the clock? While we've been sessioning this feature, we've been looking at how the different line choices impact your line choice on the exit into the right-hand corner and how on the clock that would impact your time through. You can never unstitch the old racer's brain, that's what we've been chatting about in between taking shots. So let's look at what we rode exactly in our little session in the one feature. So we came out hard left. It's a nice, smoother, easier line. There's some little shapes in there that's going to undulate the bike. We're bringing in technique into the cornering and the line choice up there. And we're just keeping the bike tracking, following the ground. So we're using that press drop shape and driving the legs down, not wanting the back wheel to get bonked up and kicking us up. And that sets us up for one of a few different exit points, and we've got another right-hand corner. So again, vision, looking up, speed control into that corner, all of our body position and footwork's coming in, and we can pick off different lines. I chose to slot it down the groove. That was the one we wanted to run when we were talking hard left. Then we went over to the center. So that forced me to have a different setup on the way in. So I've got a different line choice back there. Speed control slightly different to get that slightly tighter turn. And now we're coming through here and we've got a bigger drop off the end to deal with, which is rollable when you're going quite slow, but you've got to be careful that that doesn't want to pitch you up and send you OTB over the bars. So we use this compression force on the flatter bit of ground to let the bike rise up. We get behind the handlebar and we punch it out in front of us and we do a punch drop. That's pushing me further right and I can get further inside on that next corner. And then our next run through, we came very much on the hard right. So again, adjusting the line up top, speed control, footwork, everything's coming into play up there. So the session, and by sessioning the feature, we're getting lots of repetition on these things. Made a much tighter turn in, ducked under down with the camera, hard right, and now we've got a couple of bits of stone pitching down there which can help catch us as we drop off, and it sets us up very inside on the corner, making for a slightly tighter turn in. So again, you're playing with the speed control elements and having to adjust footwork accordingly. Nice thing on that inside line is you can drift across the trail down there and catch the banking on the outside edge should you get the movement off of the loose rolly rocks. So our final line through here, we wanted to really pick this feature apart and play with some of the shapes in it. So we followed the crag up the top, purchase on the edge of the tyre, so getting very precise with our line choice and our vision work. We put a turn in. Now we had to come across a gap in here to get another turn in to filter out down the left line for our exit. Obviously it's a very slow way to ride it, but by challenging ourselves and sessioning the feature and visualizing a line and putting it into practice, we got to bring in lots and lots of different technique. It really forced us into being focused and focusing on that technique. And for myself, just filming this little section, we didn't set up 2 different cameras. We used the one camera and shot it from 2 different locations. So to try and repeat the lines again themselves, evidently they're not going to be picture perfect, but they're going to be very close, forced me to really think about all of the things that I did to do with my crank timing, where my feet were, where I'm positioned on the bike, exactly where I put the wheels, and so on and so on. So another little section of trail that you can stop and play on and session on, and you can get a lot of benefit out of it from not just blasting through here and onto the next piece of trail, but just by stopping and having a play on it. So we'll hunt out a few more things, see what else we can find out there on the trail.